The Tangenetic podcast is aimed at a mature audience. It contains themes that are not appropriate for all listeners. Please note that we are not experts and just three guys talking about crap that interests us. Listener discretion is advised.
Welcome to the Tangenetic podcast. I'm Seth, and as always with me is Swoosh and John Doe.
Hi.
Hello.
And first up this week, we're going to have to start with the absolute fuckery that's going on in Colorado right now.
Yeah, this is fun.
So, what's happened is the power company in Colorado has stopped people being able to change their thermostats. I've seen some reports about this, that they're locking them to as high as, in American temperatures, in their fail units, 90 degrees, which in correct units, as we use in Australia, is 32 degrees Celsius.
A 32 degree day is like, it ain't exactly a cool day. It's got some fucking heat to it.
That's not a fun day.
That's a day where you're looking for
day.
shade.
Yeah.
Like, it's not a.
But you don't want to be
fuck,
inside on a
scorcher,
32 day.
But that's enough to fucking make some people swelter. Like,
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, definitely. Especially people of the biggest persuasion, like I used to
fucking
be.
oath. Like, big sweaty
32
people
degrees,
are gonna get
I'd be
big,
hunting
big
anyway.
fucking sweaty dropped.
But you'd walk into restaurants like, can I just stand in your cold room for a second, please? But, yeah, no, fuck,
With the
fuck
fan
32
out,
degrees.
I got the vapors. I need to stand in the cool.
Where's your fountain couch?
It's the old
Lordy.
meme of the father, don't touch the thermostat. No. Now he's not even allowed to touch it. It's like, no one can touch the
Yeah, no.
thermostat.
Now government daddy is going, no one touches the
not
thermostat.
even the
Electricity company
government.
daddy. No.
So apparently the way this came about is that there was a energy saver program that you could opt into with the power company, and you got a discount for doing it. This is the end result of that. According to the company, it is to smooth out usage to decrease strain on the power grid. But yeah, I think a lot of people probably would have just ate the little bit extra on their power bill to be able to be like, no, I want it to be cool today.
If they knew what the repercussions were, that's the problem. Because guaranteed, most people would have gone, oh, discount, done, I'm in, yeah, click the button. No one would have thought at some point in the future they would not be able to turn their air conditioning on to not die in the summer.
Yeah.
Like, fuck.
But like a lot of these,
that's insane.
whether power companies or they can send a signal through the power lines to affect your equipment at home, like the Brisbane floods in, I think it was 2011. I want to say 2011. I could be fucking wrong.
That was the big one. Yeah, back in 2011.
But they had an issue. They turned the power grid, like power off in areas, but so many people had solar power that was feeding back into the grid, they couldn't turn that off. So they had to go through individual houses and turn the fucking solar systems off to stop the fucking electricity through the fucking floodwater. And now I think it's a regulation that all houses with solar still have to be attached to the grid, so if they need to shut it down, they can shut down your solar grid from the plant, like for your area. So Australia has that to a point, but at least they don't control our fucking heat. Like, I got a wood fire.
That's
luck
more
turning
of a
that
safety
down.
issue than it's anything else. Like, for us, it's a safety concern. Like, we don't want electricity going through the floodwater. Bad things happen to that. But with the Americans, it's like, oh no, it's we're just going to stop you being able to like be at a comfortable temperature. Good luck, bye.
But in Australia, it'd be like controlling your cooling, your air conditioner, like not so much your heat.
There would be an active revolt in Australia
yeah.
if that happened. I'm putting that out there now. If I tried to change my aircon and something popped up from my energy company saying, oh, we can't actually let you do that, I'd be at their fucking doors like, bitch, say what? It's 32 degrees outside.
Well,
I'm hurt you.
The thing you've also got to think about, though, is, like, we live in Queensland, and John is just down in, I think you're just over the border in New South Wales.
I'm a ways fucking south. I'm a lot closer to Victoria than fucking
He's
Queensland.
right in the centre,
really?
like,
yeah.
stone's throw from the fucking capital territory, just, you know.
Oh, okay.
Which is great, because you can
Way
throw
south.
stones at politicians, which is really good fun.
They'd be a lot
Point is,
fucking
though-
bigger than stones, mate.
We live in houses that are at least designed for kind of stable-ish weather.
Yeah.
It never gets that cold in Queensland, it can get pretty cold. We can get down to negatives if it gets bad, but it doesn't tend to very often. We tend to deal with high temperatures a lot more, and so our houses are generally designed to dissipate heat. You look at somewhere like Colorado, where they have to handle high temps and super low temps. So the houses are much more designed to have the internal thermostat handle the job, not the design of the house.
Yeah.
Yes, a 32-degree day in Australia fucking sucks. At least my house doesn't hold the heat that well. So
it's made to dissipate the heat. Like, everything here is like, it's hot, get rid of the heat. You can live.
In Queensland, we made that trade-off of, like, winters kind of suck because everything is cold and your house just gets rid of all the heat it can.
That's what happens when
but
you
you
got
just
houses
put more
on
shit
stilts.
on in Queensland.
That's what happens when your house is on stilts. You get the air underneath. That's why they're on fucking stilts, so they can air out properly and get cooler during the fucking summer.
So you can just sit there in Australia. It's like, every Queensland house has like numerous blankets, which is like, oh, winter's here. Bring out the blankets! And just fluffy robes and stuff. That's how we survive, because it's easier than building a house that retains the heat. Because then summer hits and we literally bake.
Yep.
Like, if we have a house in Australia or Brisbane that keeps the heat in, it actively cooks people.
That was one of my apartments, like a couple of houses before the one I'm in now. It was an old Queenslander that they bricked the bottom level of to create apartments into.
Oh, no.
That was basically, once the sun got up, I lived in an oven. I was getting sweat rash doing nothing. It was really, really bad.
See, we've got a very different issue where I am, and it's like a recent issue they're having real fucking problems with. Because here there used to be a lot of orange trees around. They're like fucking groves of orange trees as far as the eye can see. And they've pulled them all out and then sold the land to housing development. So they're putting in fucking kit homes, just fucking banging them up in 6 weeks. But they're digging out orange trees, laying turf over it, building a house on that, without the ground settling. So the ground has still got the divots where all the trees are fucking pulled out. So if you mow your lawn, you're fucking going up and down waves of fucking holes of where the fucking ground hasn't settled. But all these things haven't settled underneath the slab of the house. So you're getting the main slab getting cracked, or the ground moving because it hasn't all settled properly. You get cracks at the walls. And with all this fucking rain, we've been getting, well, not so much floods, but a lot of water around. And water's coming up from underneath the fucking main slab of the floor.
Oh,
it's like, well, I'm glad that where I'm is a much older house and it's on fucking stumps and I don't have a fucking concrete slab underneath, but it's a very, very different issue, but it's still a fucking issue.
There's also, where you are, a very specific issue. Like, you don't want to go digging too much in the area you're in, just in case you find a body. Because, like,
parts of. You'll never find a whole one.
Parts of, yes. You never find a whole one. Because, hell, where you are, the little, the airport, the runway has markers on it, which has names where people are. Because they've just gone through after the mob has been turfed out of town.
Allegedly.
Oh, fuck.
But yeah, no, fuck that. Just... I don't like. It's a weird thing, and I can only imagine the American people just freaking the fuck out. It's like, but why? I want to do the thing. So they're freedoming internally over there currently, freaking the fuck out.
Look, this is why I haven't got a lot of information on like whether or not it was written in and they knew they were going to be able to take over the thing. Because of course, people right now are like, I didn't know.
At least they are giving an opt-out option. Like, from what I've seen of things they've been sent, there is an opt-out link where they go, no, I'm going to opt out of this.
But so who the fuck reads the terms and conditions, really? Like, who really reads them? The fine print is like, fuck that.
Have you ever actually read the fine print for, like, iTunes or any Apple product? There's things in there about nuclear, like, reactors or nuclear weapons being mentioned. Like, there's a guy, I'm pretty sure, on YouTube who just goes through and reads through the terms and conditions to find weird shit.
But
that's what he does for content.
Bruce Willis sued fucking Apple and iTunes because he wanted to leave his fucking music catalog to his kids and they wouldn't let him because that's not their account and he doesn't actually own anything, so he tried to sue him for it all. And like... That goes into all the fucking it goes into all the fucking digital rights because the terms and conditions say you don't actually own this, you own a license to use it for now.
You are leasing this for your lifetime.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then we go into all the fucking
he's-
digital rights of everything from fucking games to John Deere tractors to fucking everything.
Oh,
Yeah, seat
John Deere
warmers
tractors,
in your
that one's
BMW.
Oh, yeah.
oh,
Oh,
fuck. The
oh.
BMW thing is... The fact you're jailbreaking cars now is... We're reaching that level of weird fucking capitalist society.
Fucking Tesla cars where they actually buy a bigger battery. They just buy the DLC code to use more of their own fucking battery.
Yeah.
And send it back in to get repairs. And when they get it back, they've lost that DLC and they have to repay for it to fucking unlock that extra 20-something% of their own fucking battery they already fucking paid for. God damn.
Speaking of repaying stuff,
Oh, this is the...
let us move on to our next topic, which is the long and eternal and apparently immortal on this show, Diablo Immortal's got more bullshit in the news.
You're welcome for the
They
segue.
just keep digging down. It's amazing. Someone handed them a shovel and they went ham. It's weird.
Dude, I think they found a fucking mining drill down there somewhere.
They hit bedrock and said, so we'll trade this shovel in for a fucking jackhammer, yeah? Let's go for fucking gold.
They've upgraded from the stone shovel to like a diamond shovel now. We can dig faster. It's amazing.
So, what's happened this time is... So, there's this orb system. We've talked about it before, but essentially it's a premium currency.
Orbs.
Like all premium currencies for basically every game that's ever existed, sooner or later a grey market starts turning up where people are selling them on third-party websites for way less money.
Yeah.
I don't think it was a huge amount from the stuff I've seen, but it was cheaper. So if you are of the mind to spend this money, you want to spend it, of course, the most efficiently way you can. So you'll go for the cheaper option. People bought them. Blizzard decided none of that, we're shutting it down, and we are getting rid of all of the orbs that were purchased this way. Now, they could have just deleted any of the ones that they could tell that people had, but instead what they did is they went, so, hey, Swoosh, you bought 2,000 orbs. We are going to subtract those from your account, which can put you into the negative.
You bought
That is the
2,000,
biggest
you've spent
dick move.
1,800, we're still taking them.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is a amazingly big dick move. It's like, you know what? No, we're going to punish you further. It's like, holy shit, God, you could have just deleted things. That's enough of a punishment. If I logged on and go, all my shit's gone. Well, no, that's fair. That's the risk I took when I was buying things on the grey market.
But from what I read...
to go in, it's like, I'm now 2,000 orbs in debt to someone where I can't actively get more before I pay off this non-existent debt.
From what I've read of it, they
the
didn't actually...
fuck?
Well, if you got those orbs and you spent them on stuff in the game, they didn't take that stuff you bought off you. They just took all of the credit you would have... the credit you used, they took it. So you got to spend more to be able to spend more to be able to play the fucking game.
There's a report of a character that has a $2 million debt in orbs, which will cost something like $35,000 to pay back.
How much
That
was
player
he
has also
spending
said
on
that
grey
player has
market
said they are
orbs?
not playing the game anymore.
Well, and
No,
in
I
a
can-
pay-to-win
I can't
game,
imagine he
he's
would.
trying to win.
At that point, it's cheaper to buy a new game and start another account. Fuck.
That amount of money, even if they fucking bought those orbs online at fucking 20% less than he would have bought them in the store, that's still fucking $20,000 worth of fucking orbs they've burned on this dumb fucking game. Like,
Who are
how
these
have
people
not
that are
learned?
buying these? Like, how are people still... I don't understand spending that much money on a game.
No.
At all.
Like-
I can't comprehend it. I might be the weird one, but I don't get it.
How can you spend
It's
a
weird.
deposit on a house on a fucking game?
Right?
More to the point, how can you spend that much money on a game that's only been out for what?
Yeah.
5 months?
Like,
Yeah.
who the fuck knows if they're still going to have much of a player base in fucking 6 months' time? Like, with all this shit going on, and particularly, the fucking holes
Well,
they're
they've already
digging
announced
for it.
Diablo 4's coming.
I know.
The second that comes out, this dies. Diablo
Hopefully,
Immortal will die the second new Diablo
Hopefully.
game comes out.
Because, like, there are those people that want to play on a fucking game, like a phone, that want to play on, well, they class that as a portable gaming device, not so much a Switch or that fucking Steam Deck.
I know that phone market has become a major pushing point in our industry. Like, I get that, and I understand that. But when certain things push that narrative, like, do you remember, was it Dungeon Master, where you make your own dungeon?
Yeah.
It's probably not the right
Dungeon
name.
Keeper?
Dungeon Keeper, that's the one. Do you remember when they moved to mobile?
They didn't do that. EA decided they wanted to crap out a Dungeon Keeper game. Because Bullfrog, the developer who made it, died years ago.
Yeah, and I loved those games. And I actually was like, oh, I'll give it a shot. Downloaded it, and within an hour, I'd already removed it from my phone. Because, holy shit. It's like, oh, if you want to build a dungeon, oh yeah, you can dig out all these things. We're not going to stop you. It's going to take 12 days, though. 12 days to remove a one block area to make something bigger. Go fuck yourself. I'm not paying money for this, and I'm not sticking around. I'm out.
Or, like, games they moved to fucking mobile. Command and Conquer. They made a mobile game of that, and it's like, you know this thing you really love? We're going to rape it. Yeah, we're going to right in front of you, and you're going to watch. And we want you to spend money on this, by the way. It's like, come on, here we go. Like,
and then people did spend money on it. That's where I get confused.
Command and Conquer one actually didn't do very well.
No, because enough people said, no, you are bad. Do not do the dumb thing.
We need more of that. Like, we need to hunt the whales. The people who are spending the hundreds of thousands of dollars. Just, I want to turn up to their house and slap them. It's like, stop it. Just stop it. You're making it worse for everyone. Please, the love of God, stop. But no, I can't find them. I've tried.
So you don't need to spend all your money on this game that you don't really care about. Put it in my account. I don't give a fuck. Here, go for it.
Look,
I worked for a company at one point doing tech support. We'll call them Schmapple. But essentially, every day we'd have people call through saying, hey, my kid spent a few $100s on in-app purchases, and we don't have that money. It's like, all right, cool. This company had a thing where it's like, cool, you can have one free refund. We'll just do that. That's fine. And most people are fine with that. So you'd occasionally get people who's like, oh, I get one. All right, $2 doesn't seem that bad. I'll leave that alone. And they go back. And you get some people like, I'm $4,000 in debt from a game I didn't realize I was paying money for because it doesn't tell you you're spending money. It's like, cool, you get your $4,000 back. Don't do it again. Here's how you don't do it again ever. But shit, that was in the early days of microtransactions. They've gotten worse.
Yeah. And absolutely
so
predatory.
Much worse. It is terrifying. And this is the industry we all studied to be in.
Yeah.
We spent a lot of money to try and get into this industry at one point.
This isn't the industry we wanted to be in. This is a whole different kettle of fish.
This is what's left. This is what happened.
This is a very specific subset of the industry that we wanted to be in. Like, this is a highly predatory, aggressive fucking part of the industry. There are still great fucking developers out there, and thank fuck for indies.
Oh, definitely.
Goddamn, they make a hell of a fucking difference. But this is a very specific predatory thing that I think is only fucking growing. And the sooner they fucking die, the better.
Oh yeah, the problem is like the guys who are doing this predatory stuff are not going to die. I would love it if EA just fell over and died. I'd be so fucking happy.
They
not
are
going to
actually finally getting a lot of pushback on Madden.
It's taken forever though. Like,
look, it's mostly because this year Madden 23, because
literally the same game, just with a different number attached to it.
But there's a thing with this one because if I recall, and I don't know my American football super well, the dude that the whole game franchise is named after, I think it's John Madden.
Yeah.
He died, so this was supposed to be a celebratory game of the guy the game's named after, and they fucked it up. So they are finally getting some pushback because they fucked up the celebratory game.
But even if they removed him from Madden, what about FIFA? Like,
Fucking FIFA. FIFA itself is
damn.
terrifying.
Oh,
Have you ever actually looked into what they do to a country that hosts their competitions?
Basically
It's
bankrupted.
terrifying. Yeah. It's fucking scary.
The
So I
only
don't
thing
think
worse
they'll
is the
care
Olympics.
about that.
No, but like,
Yeah, no, like the Olympics is a horrible thing.
FIFA's like the game's the whole fucking ultimate team. Buy fucking packs to unlock a card, to unlock a player, to fucking do it. It is absolutely predatory, but EA could close everything else down and just release a new fucking FIFA title every year and still rake it in.
Oh yeah.
They'd make enough to break even every time.
Ultimate Team,
Actually, I have a weird question about the Olympics and FIFA and that kind of stuff. The ones that just bankrupt companies, or countries, sorry, every time they turn up. Why don't they just buy a fucking island somewhere and build it to be their own thing? Like Olympics Island or something.
The Olympic Committee could...
We have made this place.
Why don't they just buy Greece and take it back to where it began?
Oh, yeah, you can buy Greece on discount currently.
and run
just
the
take
actual
over
marathon
like that area. They have enough money.
Run the actual marathon track. Right, this is where you go. No more concrete track. You got to run on dirt, motherfucker. Off you go.
That should be a fucking like thing to do. Like, just buy Greece out, buy Athens. I'm pretty sure it's up for sale. They're still in debt.
It's no longer called Greece. It's now called Olympus. That's it. The entire fucking country is now the Olympic Village.
Can you imagine the tourism alone? They'd make millions.
Oath. Like, these are our...
Why don't they do it? And then just dedicate that area to the Olympics.
Fucking oath. That is the part of the world where the sporting go to fucking compete. Done.
Yes. You dedicate it to that one specific industry, being like, right, cool. Every 4 years, people turn up and they just do the sport things. They do all the sports. It's great. We have all the things for it. Then you're not bankrupting a fucking country every time you want to host this bullshit gaming
That
thing.
would work even better, because part of the thing they do with the Olympics is they let the next country that hosts add a new sport. But they also sometimes remove them because they've only got so much space.
Yeah.
If they owned all of Greece, you could just keep adding, because there's plenty more tracts of land. Just set up another stadium.
Yeah, just build a running...
I don't think we have any listeners in Greece, but at the same time, just in case, we're not advocating they buy your home country, but at the same time...
They should.
Just saying.
Just saying. Even just buying an island in the middle of nowhere, because they can set their own laws. Could you imagine an Olympics not governed by a country, to the point where it's like, you know what? We have the normal Olympics where everyone competes, and then we have the steroid Olympics. No, let's just see how far someone can jump.
No, that's why we have like 3 different Olympics in a 3-year cycle. And we have 1 year off completely. No Olympics. Thank fuck, no Olympics.
Yeah.
The Olympics has their own channel that turns on for the other 3 years. Yeah. And you have your Paralympics for one fucking year.
Yep.
Great. Paralympics, you have your normal Olympics for the next year.
Yep.
And the year after that is your go for gold, roid that motherfucker up Olympics. Because you got to have it.
How far do we push a human?
Exactly.
As a side note, if they did that the 1 year they're not airing normal stuff, they could actively call it reruns and just show nothing but the leg races. It is actually reruns!
All they could do then is literally just compare the fucking times from the non-roided up to the roided up. And that's all it is. It's a side-by-side comparison. For the year where it's not on, done. There's your fucking 4th year filled.
Just how fast can a human actively run before the bad thing is set in?
How high can a human jump? How fucking fast can a human swim? Let's answer these fucking questions. Guinness Book of Record buys into it. Fucking done.
Oh!
The thing is, though, to be fair, you'd actually have to do all that stuff during the off time, because the Olympics really only goes for like a month and a half.
It really does.
But to be fair, you'd have to do the Paralympics, normal Olympics, and then the Roid Olympics, and then the Roid Paralympics.
Oh yeah, there's our 4-year cycle. Fuck yeah.
No, the Roid Paralympics would just be like, it would be cybernetics.
That's the point.
Paralympics, for that would be something. Can you imagine the engineers who would sign up for that?
It's the Cyberpunk Olympics. Fuck yes.
Fuck.
We
need to buy a country. We have a plan now. We're buying a country.
I don't give a shit about the Olympics. I'm sorry.
No,
like,
I don't think any
I'm
of
not
the
a
three of
sports
us do.
guy.
The
So I
sports
don't
ball
care,
done good.
I guarantee you, if you're like, we're going to see how far a dude with a cyber arm can throw a javelin, I am going to watch that.
No,
I will watch the shit out of that.
and he walks up there and just detaches a fucking an arm, drops onto the ground, and reattaches a fucking cannon with a discus in it. Oh my god, I would watch the shit out of that.
I would watch so much of it.
That would reinvigorate the Olympics like nothing else. Like,
Fucking dudes
holy
doing the
fuck.
100-meter sprint with like jet boosters on their asses.
Jesus Christ, I love this.
I tell you, even for
Why are they doing the money they could make?
even for shits and giggles, like the roided up Paralympics, let the normal people jump in. Have a go, you mug.
Yes.
See what you can do.
No.
Compete
You have
against these
one
fucking
person in
bionic
every
superhumans.
event. You take the winner of the person who got into the actual Olympics and then put them into like the roided up version as the control. Like that's what it is.
No.
It's like this is the fastest guy without any drugs in his system. He's right at the back. We don't know what happened.
No, but also for
Holy
every
shit.
every event, there's a lotto, and they pull a random chair out of the stadium. You got to run as well, motherfucker. Here's Steve from fucking Geelong with a fucking weighing 180 pounds. He's got to run with Olympians. Go for gold, bud. Good luck to you. There's your fucking
No,
control.
you pull them out and you pay for their trip.
Yeah.
At that point, it's like we've randomly chosen you. We're going to pay for everything, but you have to run the 100-meter dash against everyone. Good luck to you, but you know,
Before you even
get
start,
a free trip out of it.
Before you even start, here's your participation award.
Yeah, exactly. Like it's a gold medal. It's made of chocolate.
Yeah.
It's fine. I would be in for this. And why haven't they done it? Because they could set their own rules. They would everything would go to them. They're not having to deal with a country and their
fucking
laws and their immigration and everything they have to deal with. All the red tape disappears.
Yeah.
And it would be just simple. I know they get kickbacks from the countries because everyone wants to host it because for 1 year they have tourism and then it fucks everything else up. Yeah. But honestly, they just need to relegate it somewhere.
Just change it
off
so.
in the corner.
Just change it so.
Done.
1 year, a country gets the marketing rights.
Yeah. I just realised if they bought Greece, they could actively have it at Mount Olympus.
Yes, exactly.
Holy shit!
Like
it could be Mount Olympus.
You could have the proper marathon. You could have all the. Bring back fucking chariot races.
We could go full circle.
You do fucking.
Yeah, we could.
You do a proper fucking Ben-Hur race. God damn.
Oh, that'd be amazing. I'm in. Can we have a petition for this? Just fuck.
To change.org.
And then in the corner we have FIFA Island, where they can just be relegated and ignored, and occasionally bombed. But still,
they're hosting that in
Atlantis. Like, the Olympics
Hopefully
at least
drown.
means well. Actually, have you ever looked into the Olympics and how much the participants get from it?
No.
It's fuck all.
Well, short
Like,
of
it is
short
very
of
much
STDs,
fuck all. Like,
because apparently
yeah.
is a fuckathon.
It's a fuck fest. We have a mate who deals with like he works the Olympics every time he can because he's doing that kind of study. But it's one of those things where like they don't get money.
No.
They get sponsorship, and they get, if they win, fucking aces. They now have everything they need to survive. Like, Usain Bolt. Do we know anything about him apart from the fact that he won a bunch of races?
Nope.
He done sports quick.
Exactly. Yeah. And everyone's already fucking forgotten him because why would we keep that in our head? It's one of those things where if you win the Olympics, you can then go on to have a career as a trainer, or you can do other stuff in that
Sell
field.
cereal.
But, sell cereal, and that's about it. Or sell shoes.
Yeah.
But that's all they do. They don't actively get any... They get a cash reward for winning, gold, silver, or bronze. But anyone else, nothing. No, you actively have to spend money to be at the Olympics.
Look, it's basically just one of those, like, pinnacles of your chosen field. If you running at the Olympics is the end goal.
Yeah.
This is the highest, most prestigious thing you could possibly do is run for your country on the world stage.
It's a resume stuffer.
It's not even a resume stuffer. You stuff your resume to get to the Olympics. The Olympics is the final job.
Yeah. And then it's like a month worth of thing, and if you fuck up your race, if you come last in the Olympics, you might be the top of your country, but no one pays attention.
You don't have
you
to
might
come
be that
last.
guy who won skating.
You don't have to come last.
Oh, the Australian who won the fucking skating.
No, but you don't even have to come last. Come fourth.
Yeah.
Who the fuck came
Missed the
fourth
podium.
in anything?
If you don't get a medal at the Olympics, you're fucked. Either you come back next year and just try harder, but even that has a time limit. Because you're now fighting against every other upstart in your country to come back to that point. Like, it's very predatory on the athletes. Not just the countries they bankrupt trying to get this shit done. The people that they make all the money from make nothing.
I tell you, it's fucking every 4 years, fucking Durex is rubbing their fucking hands up. Oh yeah, fucking dollar bills. Gonna fill that place full of fucking dummies, and we're on, son.
Every time. Jesus. And then there's Macca's. I don't know how McDonald's ends up being a sponsor of the Olympics. That should be off the heck. Any fast food should not be a sponsor of the Olympics. I'm saying that now.
See, that's the thing, though. Like, so many people I know who do a lot of gym stuff and do a lot of running and carb shit eat Macca's.
Because it's full of sugar.
It's sugar, protein, and carbs.
Yeah. And salt. So much salt.
Yeah. But that's the one they don't care about. Like, it's the fact that it's got those other three things and a quick, easy munch it down and then go hit the gym.
Yeah.
Don't ask me about the science of it. I don't know. I'm a fat cunt. I don't go to the gym.
Same.
But I do know a
gives
lot
you
of
the
people who
feel-good
that
chemicals,
is
and that's it.
Yeah, I mean, that's why I eat it.
Yeah, me too.
I maintain the feel-good chemicals. That's the weird thing about high fast food. I swear, KFC only has the feel-good chemicals in the first bite.
Oh yeah.
After that, no feel-good chemicals. It's all gone.
That's because once you bite...
Now it's just sadness and despair.
After the first bite, it's just, I can feel the grease hit my arteries.
Yeah, you can feel that shit layer in there. It's like, ooh, that's not good.
Anyway.
The feel-good button in your brain is literally just coded it. Da-da-da-da-da.
I like the fact that we were doing the preamble to this one today. We're like, what are we going to talk about? And it's like, we can probably get a bit of content. We're now at 30 minutes, and we have talked about the two things that were not the meat and potatoes for this.
Well, I was about to move this on because I want to be angry about something.
Be angry.
We're always angry.
I'm angry.
About things.
I'm angry.
Let's be honest.
I'm angry that your
We have
Olympics
a
have not
friend
bought
called
place.
Angry who we have to drag on at some point.
So, the thing that I wanted to be annoyed about, and it's actually something that I've seen in video games a bunch of times, but I just refinished Spider-Man. And I never actually played the DLC for it when it was back on the PlayStation. So I've only just played...
the basic mission pack that is not worth the money it's fucking costing.
Three of them.
The actual DLC,
not
not
even
the
linked.
expandalone that is Miles Morales.
Yeah.
That should have been DLC. I maintain that.
It's an expandalone.
I loved it. I fucking loved it. But it should have been DLC.
But the point I want to make is so often I find when companies go to the DLC, they absolutely fuck up the game balance. So, in the DLC for Spider-Man, they added some new enemies, one of which is the heavy unit, but with a gun. They increased the volume of enemies that have guns or rocket launchers. They added a new enemy that has a shield, a different kind of shield to the normal shield.
Shield enemies just suck in general.
So now you can't rip the shield away from them because normally they electrify the fucking thing.
Yeah, and the fact that it has this charge attack, which it can do across the map, which leaves a damage field on the ground behind it. It can jump up in the air and slam. Basically, there's shitloads of damage, which is almost unavoidable. Because you will get... Oh, and they up the amount of guys who have the whips, which pull you out of the air.
Fucking hate those whips.
Yeah, so the DLC is absolutely full of that stuff. To absolute bursting. So many combat encounters I lost in that game were just like, one guy whips me down, pulls me into a group of guys, gunshots just start hitting me from fucking everywhere because there's 9 guys with guns, and then a rocket hits me, and I'm dead.
And whilst I
2
maintain
seconds.
that's what would actually happen to Spider-Man, at the same time, it feels like bullshit.
Well, I'm playing a game for a power fantasy, not for what would actually happen to
If I lose at a
Spider-Man.
game because I'm shit at the game, oh fuck, I'll get good. But if I lose at a game because the game is designed badly, that's a bitch.
Like, if Spider-Man actively existed in the real world, he'd be sniped within a week.
Yeah.
Someone from half a kilometre away was done. Like, they don't last long. But we don't want that in our fucking games.
But this is the thing I've seen in so many DLCs. People will just crank the difficulty because it's like, oh, it's post game. People are really good at the game.
But that's not even difficulty. That's just being a bitch.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. Like,
so
why not just design an extra bit
frustrating.
of story that's worth fucking playing? It doesn't
And
need to be
like
hard. Make
narrative
it
or something.
enjoyable.
Yeah, like, I'm already top tier. Have something intriguing in the story, and I'll follow that shit to the end of the earth. I don't care about the fights in most cases. I'm already winning them hands down. I'm in it for the story, motherfucker.
But see, when like everyone was mostly melee combat, or like now and then there was a gun or a rocket launcher just to spice it up a little bit, I didn't mind. But the minute it became literally every fight was just a gunfight, and I don't have guns,
Yeah.
really,
Well, they-
really sucks.
They actively produce enemies that take away your agency as a player to have fun. It's not it's not just, oh my god, here's a new enemy, here's a new game type you can use. It's, oh, you use that kind of thing in combat, you enjoy using that, yeah, we're going to make something to actively take that away from you.
Well,
That's
they
just
even made some of the
shitty
enemies
design.
unnecessarily more difficult. So in the main
shields.
game, when you hit the heavy guys, you just web them up, and then you could go and punch them. The heavy guys that have the machine gun, you can't do that to. It doesn't work. You can't web them. You have to wait for the predisposed time when they're vulnerable. Otherwise, they don't take damage.
So you've just spent...
But the heavies I used to like web and then kill everything else around them. It's like putting them on snooze. It's like, I'm gonna deal with you soon. Guaranteed I'm gonna fuck your day up. But currently you're in the way and I need to make sure you stop moving for a while.
But, they've
But
just
these
spent,
guys, they stopped doing that.
They just spent an entire, like, lengthy game training the players, this is how you deal with this kind of enemy. Not anymore. You need to now relearn what you've just fucking learned, and we're going to take away what we've given you. That's just
they
really
DLC
shitty
should always
design.
add to things. Like, DLC should add to something. It shouldn't take away.
No, fucking
And
oath.
that's where I keep getting confused. Because, like, we've all studied the same things. We know for a fact that if you're going to make a DLC, you don't take away things without giving it back. Sure, you want adversity in the game, because people want to be able to move forward and feel like they've made progression. But you don't just negate everything without giving them a new option.
But they
There
don't
has
even...
to be something new you give to mitigate the issues that they're now experiencing. If you're just going, oh no, these guys have countered your shit. Like, okay, how do I fix that? Get good.
For
That's
each
bad.
of the DLCs, they put in 3 new spider suits, none of which come with new abilities.
Yeah, they're just cosmetic.
But even, like, for, like, the old DLCs, like, Brood War in Starcraft, was like, you liked this thing? Here's more of the thing you liked. They didn't take anything away. They didn't fuck anything else up. They just said, you know the good thing? You want some more good thing? Like, here's a piece of pie. Here's a bit of cream on that pie, motherfucker. That's all they did.
It's like dealing with dogs. It's like, do you want a treat? I want a treat. I like treats. But do you want the treat? Hype people up for the things they want.
Yeah.
And we will do absolutely anything to get it.
Like,
Not gonna lie.
just do
We are
more of the
sluts
good
for this
thing.
thing.
Don't actively make shitty things fucking worse. Like, that's
Give
not
us
good
the
game
happy
design.
chemical and we will do the stuff for you. That's how this works.
Like, I know some people love the harder difficulty. The whole Souls game's a straight out testament to that. But
No.
I don't want a fucking Souls game in my fucking Spider-Man game. I want to swing around and kick the shit out of everything fucking game. That's why I'm playing it.
I'm playing this for a superhero fantasy. I want to be the thing that kicks everything in the face. I don't want to get my face kicked. That's how this works. This is the exchange we've made.
Yeah. I mean, this happened back with Doom Eternal as well. All the DLC enemies were either very specific takedowns, like the Spirit Ghost, but the Spirit Ghost could also power up other enemies, and you couldn't hurt it until you killed that enemy, and that really unbalanced some of those enemies. There were ones that needed special damage done to them first before you could really hurt them. The Marauder was still bad, but they used him even more. There was just bad decisions to make it more difficult, and that doesn't feel good.
But that's the round we're in, because it always happens. There's a weird kind of linear path that goes, or a loop, essentially. We're in that loop now where everyone's like, difficulty level. That's what everyone wants. You want it to be harder. And that's been spurred on by things like, Souls-likes and that kind of thing. Like, people want things to be difficult. Like, we want challenge, yes. We don't want you to take away things we've earned. We want you to build on top of this.
Yeah.
It's not a matter of making it harder for the sake of being harder. That just makes us angry. We don't enjoy your product that way. Give us something. If you can't think of something to make the gameplay more evolved and improve it and make it better, focus on story. Give us lore. We like lore. It's great. Give us a quirky villain that we can have fun with. Do something that is different, but, fits in with your world. We don't just want you to crank up the difficulty and make things unfair, because then we won't give a shit.
Yeah.
Like, I don't get that mentality. It's a bit... That's just the era of gaming we're in, and they'll change eventually. But we're just not near the end.
I can't think of a game recently that's come out that they've done the whole game, it's been enjoyable, and then they've released a DLC that has added to that game. Like, Horizon Zero Dawn did it, and I fucking love the DLC for that.
Yeah.
But I'm sure they're out there, but personally, I can't fucking think of many of them. Like
Horizon Zero Dawn at least did it in a way which was, we know for a fact that Blaze in the last games fucked everything. Blaze was... If you had a Blaze build, you win. You win forever. So you go to a new location where Blaze is not the main... It still does damage, sure. It's reduced. It's not as effective. It's like, cool. Find a new damage type. Rebuild. You've started at the bottom again. Go and fuck things up. You're still at the high level. But that thing you have spec'd in solely is not going to win for you.
See, I played that whole game like I played fucking Skyrim. I ended up being a stealthy archer.
Yeah,
same.
Stealthy was the
I'm
fucking
half
way
a
to
kilometer away shooting arrows at someone. Just smacks me in the head like, oh, it's just the wind.
Yeah.
That's the kind of game I love.
But, like, I can't think of many other games where they've done the whole game and then an actively enjoyable DLC. Like, that isn't just fucking horse armor.
I
don't buy DLC anymore.
No.
Like, I honestly do not get DLC anymore because I don't see the value in it. It's just... It's never good.
Like, I played the Division 2 quite a bit, and they did the Warlords of New York DLC for that. And that, I enjoyed that, but they didn't add a whole lot that wasn't already in it. They added a few new gear sets and that kind of shit, but it was still the exact same game, just slightly larger. And they've added a few things since, which, give or take, don't really change the game all that much. But there aren't a lot of games that you play and it's like, holy fuck, this has added so much more that I've really enjoyed this. Now I want to go back and play more of that thing. And it really fucking sucks.
I guess it's the change in mentality to DLC over expansions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just little bits of, you'll buy it, instead of, we've got to justify that $30 price tag. And we've got to sell it on a shelf. Because that box copy of Brood War has to sit next to fucking Ground Control or Half-Life or something else, and you've got to choose it over everything else.
You got to choose between Diablo 2 and fucking Brood War. Or fucking GTA 4 or GTA 3 or 2.
Yeah.
Well, thinking about it, the last game I remember paying for DLC and actively enjoying it was Ghost of Tsushima.
Yeah.
Because they gave you an entirely new region to explore. Like, it was a decent-sized map. It had a new lore, and it was fun. It went story and lore-based as opposed to anything else. Like, we've got an extra thing for you to use, but it's only in this location because the old location doesn't have these things. Like, that makes sense. I'm okay with it. And it was so much better. I loved it.
Yeah.
Because they focused on that thing that we went to that game for. It was like, we love the idea, we love the story. Give us more of that, please. Like, all right, here's more story. It's when your father's failed campaign to pacify this island. Neat, done. I'm gonna do that. And it was great. It was really well done. And all they did was add a mechanic where your horse charges through people. That's all it added. That's all that needed to be added. It was great. I now have a horse that just runs through a group of people and knocks them over. So I jump off and murder them.
It was good. Sad. You made me think of the horse in Tsushima.
Yeah, no, that was the fun one.
Well, how about we cheer ourselves up by bitching about something that was really, really dumb that Swoosh found?
Oh, yeah, that was entertaining. So I went to get a script filled at a pharmacy today and found out that apparently VB, Victoria Bitter, now has a line of, like, hygiene products is probably the best way of putting it. I don't know if I can attribute hygiene to VB, but at the same time, it's what they're going for.
Considering usually the people that drink VB aren't big into hygiene.
Exactly. I don't know why they thought there was a market there, to be honest. Like, it's weird.
So, I've got the photo up. This is what is in this photo. There is a VB 4-men men's grooming kit, whatever the fuck that is.
I have never met a VB drinker that grooms. Just saying that now.
There is shampoo and conditioner, body wash. The one
You're
that
forgetting the fact that shampoo and conditioner is a combined thing. It's not separate. It's a shampoo and conditioner in the same bottle.
Yeah.
But have either of you actually seen the ad for this shit on TV?
There's a fucking ad?
There is an ad on TV. I've seen it on TV a few times, and it's like a tradie bloke who comes in and he does like the whole hair flip and everything, and goes to the whole thing and sits back in a bubble bath with the VB shit all around it, and it's like it's an absolute piss.
That is not the VB demographic.
No, it isn't. But if you get a chance, watch the ad, because it's like, what the fuck is this?
I mean, I will be. But, like, so...
I didn't know there was an ad.
Oh, yeah.
I found this in the wild.
But they've got an exfoliating scrub, moisturizer...
What VB drinker does that?
Bath frothy, which I'm guessing is just a bath bomb, but VB flavored. Scented candles, because, I really want to spell VB.
Christ.
And
VB
the one that
smells like off bread and piss.
And the one I think is the dumbest, because what the fuck kind of person who gets off after a day and has so low self-esteem that they're drinking VB wants to have a VB for men face mask? What the fuck?
I don't get... Who thought this was a good idea? Are VB rebranding? Like...
They want to be an upper-class beer. Yes.
Fuck off. No. The only way VB can survive currently... Granted, I will stay now... I am biased as fuck on this topic. I've worked in craft breweries around Brisbane. I love beer. I just can't drink it anymore. It's one of those things I love beer. It's great. VB and 4X... And let's just mention the black sheep of the family, Fosters, that we sold off. They are not beer. I'm saying that now, and I'm probably going to get some people hitting me. But they are not beer. They are just, beer-flavored water. That's all they are. They're
the McDonald's
horrible.
of beer. They're as much beer as McDonald's is proper food.
It gets worse than that. Here in Queensland, I once looked into opening a brewery, and still look into it occasionally. It is actually easier to open a brewery in New South Wales and ship your beer to Brisbane or anywhere in Queensland than it is to open a brewery in Brisbane or Queensland. Because the rules here are fucked. You pay for the alcohol content on your beer at creation, not at sale. They aren't taxed the same way that wine is, which is a much easier tax. you are taxed at a higher rate per percentage of your beer. And the reason being is Forex. Those bastards paid a lot of politicians and did a lot of lobbying to make it that their weak as piss beer wasn't taxed as much. And now that craft beer's become a thing, and Forex wants to get a piece of that pie, they're now running into the fact that they fucked themselves early on, so they can't make money. If you have a beer of 10%, you are paying exponentially more tax before you've even sold the beer, just at making it. And that's what they fought for. Forex has single-handedly fucked the craft beer system in Queensland, and they did it decades ago.
But like that same system is used Australia-wide, but it's to different degrees in different states. So I work in a winery in New South Wales, and we also get taxed at a different rate depending on where it's made at, where it's fermented at. So we ferment it well low of where we sell it, and then we get ethanol brought in and we add that to it to bring it up to the level, because that is so much fucking cheaper, because then you get taxed when you make it, and then you get taxed when you sell it, and then so everything, they fucking take a slice of the pie every chance they get.
Oh yeah, alcohol gets taxed as shit here in Australia, which is weird because we're a drinking country. You'd think
we
they'd
are.
be at least a bit better about it, but no. And it's so fucking strange. I don't understand it. But I have mates who work in the industry and they are much more into it than I am. I will, again, reference what we have in the disclaimer of every one of our episodes. We're idiots talking about shit we don't fully understand. We just occasionally know a bit of trivia about it. But I just hate everything to do with Forex, VB, and the ones we've sold off, Foster's, and I think Forex might have been sold recently. But they aren't beer to me. They have no taste. I once sculled a can of Forex and didn't realize it was alcoholic.
That's sort of the point of Forex. It's meant to be more refreshing than beer.
Well, but it's not. It tastes like Jat's crackers in liquid form. It's meant to be
served as cold as possible to minimize as much flavor as possible, because anything above cold burn is fucking horrible.
Really, the point of these sort of beers, I mean, I personally am actually quite okay to drink Forex, but I was unemployed for a long time. I kind of got used to it. But I still agree, it's got to be cold as fuck. But the point of it is you're supposed to put it in an esky full of ice and then just chug a beer every time you finish one across a sunny afternoon. That's the fucking point. It's just supposed to get your blotto over an arvo. That's it. But it's not a sit down and, yes, we're going to drink and enjoy the hoppy notes of this beer. It's just an alcohol delivery system.
That's all it is.
Like, that's the thing.
It's meant to keep you cold and provide small amounts of alcohol. But
the people who drink Forex are not the people to buy beauty products.
No, they're not.
Who thought this was a good idea?
I don't know. It's really dumb.
The fact that they have shampoo conditioner in the same bottle is already a red flag. But face masks. I'm pretty sure if people who drink Forex would hunt people for sport for wearing face masks from where I come from.
The only face masks they wear is the ones they put on as they're coming through your window.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much. He's not lying. Jesus Christ.
I can't afford more face scrub!
I need more body wash. Where's your jewellery, motherfucker?
The thing is, I have that morbid curiosity where I kind of wanted to buy some of it just to see what it smelled like. Because the smell of VB, to me, just smells like stale bread and piss. I don't smell anything else. There's no hops to it. There's nothing that I enjoy. If that's the smell, all I can imagine is the marketing must be like, do you want to smell like a Darrow before anyone fucking sees you? Buy VB cologne. That's all it is to me.
Do you want to smell like Siggy's wife beater singlets and thongs? Buy VB.
Are you on the dole but don't want to tell anyone you're on the dole? Buy VB cologne.
Matter of fact, I got it now.
It's horrible, and I don't know who greenlit this idea, but Jesus fucking Christ.
But
why can't we just sell off VB and 4X like we did Foster's? Just get them out of the country. We don't need them anymore.
But by the same token, like, we don't really talk about beer a whole lot. But we're talking about beer a whole lot right now. So
yeah, we do.
Their fucking marketing department has worked. Like, they have hit that nail on the head, because so many people are going to go, what the fuck? And then talk about the stupid VB product. So that's just more people talking about stupid VB products.
We're currently talking about it, and we fucking hate these beers.
Exactly.
We're in Queensland, which is a 4X state, and I don't know what the fucking beer of New South Wales is, if they even fucking have one.
Carlton Dry.
Really?
Yeah.
Yep.
Either draft or dry.
I don't know why I know that,
actually,
but that just surfaced in my head. That
Tui
materialized very quickly.
You'll find it's Tui's new. Is meant to be... look at when the State of Origin's on. You got 4X versus new, which is a full strength versus mid strength, but I'm not going to get into that.
But the point is,
we could spend an entire... Between me and Dan, we could spend an entire episode on that.
These are the beers for where we live, and we're talking about some other fucking state's beer.
Yeah.
I think the marketing did its thing.
But you wouldn't even say, like, sure, it's Victoria better, but I don't even think people in fucking Victoria actively drink it. Like, I know more people that drink Melbourne better or anything else.
That's the thing. I don't know how 4X and VB still survive, because very few people that, in the industry drink that beer. It has to be like, because I know 4X and VB had deals with pubs in the middle of nowhere that they give them free advertising, a bunch of free beer essentially, if they showed their advertising and sold exclusively their beer. It was a very dodgy business practice, but it fucking worked. And I think that's all that's keeping them afloat. Because like Foster's, everyone overseas thinks that Australians drink Foster's. It has not existed in Australia since we sold it to the Yanks.
They sell it at the bottle I near me.
Yeah.
Why?
You can buy the odds.
Do they import it? Because that's the only way they can get it. You have to import Foster's to Australia.
And they pretty much only do it so backpackers go, oh, Foster's, I'll buy Foster's in Australia. And it's the same shit you drank back home, idiot. But
it's horrible. We got rid of it because we hated it. We offloaded that to the rest of the world because we no longer wanted to deal with it. It's not an Australian beer anymore. It's owned by, I think, the Chinese. Not sure who.
It's not Australian, I don't care.
But I'm waiting for like 4X and VB to sell off overseas as well. And I think 4X recently made that decision.
Yeah, but
I don't know. I mean,
they're changing a whole heap of stuff now. You don't really have your traditional drafts anymore. Like they've sort of gone not so much out the window, but they're nowhere near as popular. So it's now you get more of your dries, so like your Carlton Dry or your Great Northerns or whatever the other fucking one is. It's like that. They all taste the exact fucking same, and they're all very like dry. So there's no lingering flavour really with them. They've got a very different flavour to the old style of beer. So I think they might be trying to kill it off to change it up a little bit.
It wouldn't surprise me. Most of the places have bought out small craft breweries and now act under their name as opposed to anything else. So they've bought out small craft breweries. Like Fat Yak is owned by one of the big breweries in Australia. Like I think it might be 4X. So I could be wrong. I haven't looked into it too much. But when Fat Yak, which was a great beer, when they first turned up, wonderful. When it was on tap here in Brisbane, because it was not local, but it was close enough. It was amazing. And then they sold off to a bigger company, and then they started pasteurizing their beer. Anyone who doesn't know, pasteurizing is essentially cooking the shit out of it until all the microbes are out of it. Problem is, it also kills 90% of the flavor of a beer. So they've done that, and now Fat Yak is not as good as it used to be. It's still better than 4X and the other ones around, sure. But it's not what it was. It's sad. It makes me actively sad to think about because it was a really tasty beer.
Yes, just thinking that one of my favourite jokes is to go through the supermarket and pick up the milk, then walk past my missus and wave it past her face so it'll last an extra little bit longer and put it into a bag because it's pasteurised. So many times today. God damn, I love it.
Although speaking of like buying shit from Woolies. Have you seen the alcohol-free stuff popping up at Woolies and Coles recently?
Yes, I have.
Have you tried it?
God, no.
No.
It is horrible.
I
have fallen on that bullet.
I've tried the Carlton Zero, and I didn't even get halfway through it before I had to go and piss. And it was the exact same shit coming out.
Yeah. I fell on that bullet and I thought, I'm a massive gin fiend. I'm like, it's alcohol-free gin. All right, I'll give that a shot. Maybe it's not horrible.
How do you get an alcohol-free spirit? You can't.
I don't know.
It's just like flavoured water, and they're charging you $60 for it. That is wrong. That is fucking robbery.
It's basically it's cordial, but they got the flavour wrong. It's just juniper berries. No, that's all gin is.
You know why they got the flavour wrong? Because it's no fucking alcohol. You don't have the flavour of the alcohol. That's why they fucked that up.
I had one drink out of it. I paid like the $50 for it. And I'm like, I'll give it a shot. One drink. I'm like, cool. And I tipped the rest down the sink.
Non-alcoholic gin.
I would rather turf it than have that in my house.
Non-alcoholic gin is just filtered berry tea. That's all it is.
Yeah,
it's
horrible.
It's not a fucking spirit, for one. It shouldn't be sold at the same fucking price as another fucking spirit.
Oh god,
it's not a $60
and
product.
I get there is a market for it. Like, there's people who can't have alcohol anymore without falling back down the rabbit hole and that kind of stuff. And recovering alcoholics and that kind of thing. But it also doesn't taste like it at all. It's horrible. I know gin's meant to make people sad. I've never got that myself. Everyone who doesn't drink gin's like, gin always makes me sad. I don't get that.
Maybe it should
made me sad.
Maybe it should be a fucking Eeyore. But
I am an Eeyore. He is my spirit animal. Gin makes me happy, not sad.
Yeah.
Well, how about we get off of the beer chat, because we are out past an hour, but Swoosh really did want to talk about a game this week.
Yes. No, I have, I needed a hack and slash. I've had a very shit couple of weeks, so I just needed something to, murder creatures in. So I picked up, Dragon Quest XI. Just randomly. I found it on the PlayStation Store. I'm like, this seems fun. I get to play as Trunks, running around killing things with a sword, because that is all that main character is just Trunks from Dragon Ball Z. And I have really enjoyed that game.
Yeah.
I have not been this invested in a game story for a while. It's the generic thing of, you're the chosen one. Oh, hooray for you. The king of, the guardian of light. And it's go and talk to the king. He will tell you what you need to do. This is generic JRPG nonsense. This is great. Get to the king, and he's like, you're that warrior of light, yeah? Yes, I am. Cool. You are the harbinger of destruction, because every time you turn up, that big fucking demon also turns up, then you have to fight it, and everyone thinks you're a hero. Off the dungeon with you. And that's the start of the game.
Yeah.
So you sit there rotting in the dungeon for a while. It's all I did was be born. What is this? And then, at the same time, he mentions, yes, you go off to the village and confirm this is where he came from. I'm if I get to this village and everything's on fire, I'm gonna fucking murder someone. And I turned up, and nothing was on fire. Nothing at all. I'm okay, this is weird. Talk to some people I've met previously in the town. Who are you? Oh god, no, please, don't do the thing. They've forgotten me. This is not good. I liked these people. And then I found, the characters, dead grandfather. I've gone back in time. This is fun. And then you go through that storyline a bit, and then you wake back up in the real timeline, and everything is actually on fire. And I sat there, playing this game, and out loud to an empty apartment, it's I'm gonna kill the king! Regicide's happening now! And I'm murdering that king the second that option happens. I don't care if they humanize him to shit. I'm going to murder him. They were nice people in that town. I liked them. So, Dragon Quest XI. Please get it and play it. You will hate everyone who isn't from your town. It's great.
It's been out for a while, so you can generally get it pretty cheap, often these days. Anytime there's a decent sale going, summer, winter, autumn, fucking whatever sale. It's probably on there and probably pretty cheap.
Yeah, I picked up for like $20 for the entire game with a couple of extras. And because it's done by Akira Toriyama, the character design is just Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah.
The main character, I swear to God, is just Trunks with a different sword and a different jacket.
Like to point out, it's not Trunks. This is not a stealth DBZ game. It
isn't. No, not at all.
It's just designed by Toriyama, so he just looks that way.
He just took the character design and was like, oh, I like that one. That goes over here now. Like, the original Dragon Quests had young Goku-looking characters as the main, that kind of thing. The exact hair and everything.
Yeah.
But you go
they've
through
always
it
been done by Toriyama.
Yeah, and because it's been done by Toriyama, you go through and you find characters. It's like, I found Piccolo. Or it's like, oh, hi, Vegeta. And you find those archetypes again. And I love it. It's really fucking dumb. And a simple hack and slash that I think more people need to play.
Yeah.
It's like JRPG light. It's not overly dialogue heavy. But yeah.
Just one last thing on a different note. So Microsoft buying Activision, they've said they're going to put Call of Duty on Game Pass day one, as well as Diablo 4.
Yeah.
Sony's got to be fucking worried there. But then Sony went through, they changed the guts of the PS5 and then jacked the price up. So a console that's already hard to find, they just jacked the fucking price up.
Straight up price gouge.
Why? I don't understand.
Didn't they also backtrack on a lot of their shutdowns for games?
No, that was Ubisoft.
Yes.
Yeah. But
that's right.
You're already you're trying to fucking stop Microsoft from putting some of the largest fucking games out immediately on launch for fucking $15 or $16. So that's going to pull people away from your console straight a fucking way. Overwatch 2, Diablo 4, Call of Duty, 3 titles that a lot of people are looking for are going to be out day one on Game Pass. That's a big fucking selling point right there. I'll get that on my PC.
That alone has made me want to try and get well, I'm getting a PC, but I'm actively tempted to get an Xbox again.
Yeah, if you can
just get a Game Pass on your PC,
you can get all of that
both,
day one for $16, or you can pay $70 more for a console that's already hard to fucking find.
Yeah,
it's particularly egregious for us here in Australia because in some locations it's only like a $15 increase. It's really not that much, but here in Australia, after conversions and Australia tax, it's fucking up.
Yeah, it's
about $45 because it's we double any American currency.
It's $45 for the discless version. It's near $80 for the disc version.
Yeah, because then we get to GST and the Australian tax. That's just
fucking stupid. For a console that's already hard to find, why are you going to make it more difficult for people to buy the fucking thing? Now's the time where you drop that fucking price. You drop it and you pray to fuck you can get more consoles out there.
Yeah.
I'm sure they're probably banking on stuff like Ragnarok coming out in November to shift the console.
Probably.
I already decided with all the fucking PlayStation exclusives, I'm just going to wait for them to be on PC.
Well,
not even going to fucking worry about it.
They're gonna be coming sooner or later. Either they're gonna release them on Steam like they have been, or there's rumors that they're setting up to do their own sort of launcher. Game Pass style PC launcher.
Yeah,
every time they show anything to that Game Pass system, though.
Yeah.
Their own version of Game Pass, every time they do, we're going to show off something new, they have to go back on it because everyone in the industry is that's dumb. Sorry.
All they're doing with their Game Pass version, they're not competing with Microsoft. They're competing with Nintendo. That's what they're competing with that. They're not really giving anything away. They're not really providing anything. You get some demos early. Yay! Most demos are free. Who cares?
The biggest problem, again, is that we live in Australia. Because many of the features are either not available or may as well not be available. Because things like, you get all the PS3 games streaming only. Our internet sucks.
Yeah.
And you won't have Australian servers, so they're going to be pinged out the arse. It's not going to be any use to us.
Australia is a massive hub for gaming, and I don't know why one of the big companies hasn't just decided, you know what, fuck it, we'll open a server farm in Australia, and service that market. Because, like, hell, every time a new Final Fantasy MMO expansion comes out, we flood the Japanese servers. I feel kind of bad for them.
We're just all rolled into the Oceania block.
Yeah. We steal a server, essentially. What happens is, like, we pick one. Somewhere, at some point in Reddit, someone puts up a post going, hey, we're taking this server now. For Final Fantasy XIV, it was Tonberry. So, eventually, everyone joined Tonberry till we hit the server limit. And then they started pressuring people to leave. It's like, hi, get out. It's Australia server now. Please, go away. And, like, to the point where, even with that as an example, Final Fantasy XIV, there were certain raids we were told, as Australians, we would never beat because of our internet connection. We were told that because of the latency and everything else that you have to experience between a server and Japan, as the closest possible server, you will never beat this dungeon. Which is fucked for a game. Granted, we did go against that dungeon because fuck you, don't tell us what to do. But at the same time, it's like, when you're told by a company, it's like, hi, due to limitations, you will never get the full content of this game because of where you live. That was
all that's really saying is, hi, give me your money, but we don't care about you.
Yes, and that was the problem.
The thing I think they forgot is that Australians were born in the lag, not by the lag.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, do you remember that, like, one time, it only happened once, never happened again, where World of Warcraft shut down during America's peak time?
Yeah, and they lost their fucking mind.
They lost their shit.
And we're like, dude, that happens every 5 p.m. on a Tuesday.
Oh no, it was worse of fucking, like, wow, it used to be on a Friday night they'd have maintenance. It was horrible. To a point where, like, I loved all the responses to that meme, or that thread, because it's nothing but laughs in Australian. Like, you can't complain until you look at the rest of the world, who in their prime time for gaming, you are shutting down servers.
So,
you can go fuck yourselves.
America's rest of the world is the next town over. That's it. There is no anything else. So they don't give a fuck about anyone else. They only care about themselves. Yeah. They're affected. It's bad. Do they have oil? Fuck them.
Yeah. Do they have oil? Yes. They're ours now. They are America.
Are there people off-white? Freedom intensifies.
Right. Before we get
all I can imagine is like the United Nations. There's just like that one, the thing for America, and so it's like, they recently found oil in this other country. Just here in the background, dibs. America will be silent, please.
What was that thing from that comic with all the flags? Like, hey man, have you seen America? Ah, don't worry, I'll call him. There's oil here, and he carved through the wall.
Yes.
On that note, I think we need to wrap things up before shit gets even weirder.
Yep.
We could talk for hours. That's the danger.
Y'all have a good one.
You too.
Have a good one. Bye.
See ya.